This is a recipe for disaster. I don't know how this will go, but today I'm trying to do two things at once, wherein I'm trying to talk to the camera and maybe paint a whole canvas. We'll see. The topic for today is productivity. And that's when I decided to switch up my productivity and do something that I've not done it yet. I've not done a painting on camera. Generally, I'm just sitting on my desk and talking to the camera. But today, I want to do this. I want to challenge myself to see if I can finish a painting while delivering a message. This is about a psychological hack. A psychological hack that if you know this, you will become more productive. It's a natural thing that if you tap into that trick or a hack, your productivity will surely increase. But what also happens is because of this psychological phenomenon, it's a natural thing that happens. Because of how it is, it can also turn against you very, very easily, very, very productively, unproductive, very, very effectively unproductive. It can be very powerful in making you lazy and not productive. And so it can be powerful in making you productive. That's what we're going to discuss. Right. What is this psychological hack? For those who don't want to watch the whole video, it's very simple. If you do one little thing, it will lead to you doing other little things. And then before you know it, you've checked off 3 items from your to-do list. In the same way, if you don't do the first thing on your list, or if you postpone the first thing on your list, you will end up postponing the second thing and the third thing and the fourth thing and end up doing just the 5th thing and postpone the 6th thing. So it's a snowball effect. One thing leads to the other. And that's probably the end of the video. But because I have to finish a canvas, we will continue. So if some of you want to stick around, whoa, it's been a while. You can tell it's been a while that I've painted. It's been at least 2 weeks. So this is how we're going to start. I generally don't really have a plan when I go into a canvas. Something happened on my thumb and it's just going to transfer onto the canvas and that's it. You work from there. Here's the thing, if I sat in front of this blank canvas and if I start imagining things about what can I paint? Where should I start? What should be my first stroke? What should the first line be? And what will be the overall outline of my painting? Whatever I'm going to paint. Generally, I'm into faces. You can see just like faces all over. But if I think about what I'm going to paint, I will never start. But if I just start, I made a mark right now. And this now forces me to come into the canvas and think about what this leads to. What can I do to make this mark meaningful? I don't know if many painters approach their canvases like this, but this is how I approach my canvas. I just go in and I'll be like, just dip the brush. And now you got paint on the brush. You have to do something about it. And it's like, okay, I will do something about it. Uh-oh. 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 And my hand is just gone. Now we've made this mark. The more marks we make with the intention of trying to make the mark make sense. Wow, that's a tongue twister. Make the mark make sense. Yeah. So first it was a thumb, just scratching with the thumb, and now it's a brush stroke. What I like about the stroke right now is the texture, like this texture and all of this texture, that grainy, gritty kind of texture. I don't know if it's coming through on the camera, but like this rough, dry brush kind of a texture. I love that. But I'm also seeing that this angle is not what I intended. I didn't want it to be more like a 90 degree. I want it to be a curved. I also don't like this sharpness here. So what we'll do, we'll just tweak it the way we want it. I want it to be curved, and I want this to be curved, and now it is curved. This is what I want. Uh-oh. That's a mistake. I did not want this line to be so thick. And this drip, can you see this? Yeah, there's a drip happening. So now we're being productive. We're doing at least something. And if the intent is right, and if all goes well, we will end up with a pretty satisfactory painting. So let's take this. Yo, I've never made a line so thick. Maybe because I'm distracted because of the video. Uh-oh. Right. Let's see what this leads to. I want to do, let's say, I want to do an eye. Yeah. And more lines, and more lines. And one more line. Yep. Then we need one more eye, like that. More lines, and more lines, and more lines, yeah? So the hack for productivity is if you just start, if you check off one thing. Oh, I think at least on camera it's looking not too bad. If you start the first thing, it will lead to the second thing, and it will lead to the third thing, and so on and so forth. In the same way, if you postpone the first thing, it might lead to you postponing the second thing, and the third, and so on and so forth. The best thing to do, there are two names that come to mind. One is called the 2-minute rule. Some of you might have heard of it. It's if you want to go out for a run or a walk, but you're not feeling it, all you have to do is the first 2 minutes of that task, wherein you wear your shoes. It takes 2 minutes to wear your shoes. And now that you've worn your shoes, you're not going to just take it off. You'll be like, okay, let me just get out of the door and start a little walk. So the first 2 minutes led to the next 2 minutes and led to the next 20 minutes. And now you have your walk. You were not feeling like going for the walk because you were thinking about the whole 1 hour or whatever duration of walk you go for. But now because you only had to do 2 minutes of the work, the rest of it just happens. There's another term, or there's another psychological technique that we'll get to. But the 2-minute rule really, really works. It's really effective in terms of, so today I wanted to paint. The first thing I did was cleaned up all the brushes, changed the water and all of this stuff. And then I sat and I arranged the canvas. And now I'm already, I can see, I can feel the momentum going. And I'm like, let me just dip the brush in the paint. You saw that happen. It was the finger, right? It started with the finger. You just make the first thing happen, and the rest happens. If I didn't use my thumb to just like scratch the canvas, who knows? I might have just sat here thinking about what can I paint today, right? By the way, this light looking pretty nice. Light is more for the canvas, but it's working really well as a rim light and as a practical. It's doing pretty good. Anyways, so to be productive, we have to do just one thing, and it'll lead to the second thing. I think I've said that like 20 times by now. That part is clear. We've also spoken about the 2-minute rule. The 2-minute rule really, really works if somewhere, if you want to try it for some of your tasks. Let's say you have to do dishes in the kitchen, and you just go in and you just start washing 1 cup, and before you know it, the whole thing is done. That's how it works. So the 2-minute rule, right? And then there's the other one that we'll talk about soon as we make some more progress on this. Right. Let's see. I feel like we need a mouth here. See? That's what happens when you think. I wanted to make a mouth. It came in my mind. And I'm like, should I? No, should I? I will. That's it. Here's a mouth. There we go. For whatever reason, I want the mouth to be here. No idea why. That's my way of painting. That's my way of approaching a painting. Painting is not design. I'm not trying to solve a problem. I'm just trying to paint. Express, or whatever you call it. The nose needs to be completed. I like the dry brush texture. Yeah. The mouth here is just, to me, at least on camera, this painting is looking much better on camera than it is in real life. But, well, missing an eyebrow. Let's miss the eyebrow. We don't want the eyebrow, okay? So there's the mouth. I think I can just like let go of this for now. I want to sit on this. And probably I'll bring in another color. Who knows? This is like glue, because it's been a while that the paint bottle has been sitting. I feel like I want to do something with this. I want to build more texture into this, into the eyebrows, and into this part. This is really thick paint. Into this part. Some here. Right. Yeah, all of the thick stuff is gone. Right. Okay. Yeah. Right. So, we've made some progress on the painting. Now, the second psychological hack, the second psychological trick or phenomenon, whatever you call it. What's the second one? It's called eat the frog. You can look it up. This is also pretty well known. Eat the Frog says that if you do the most difficult task first thing in the day or night, whatever, whenever you start work, if you tackle the most difficult thing, the first, if you tackle the most difficult thing, the first thing in the morning, you will get a sense of accomplishment. You will get a sense of achieving, striking off the task from your to-do list, and then you'll get more boost or a motivation to pick up more tasks because, wow, if you could do the 1 hour or 2 hour thing first thing in the morning and all the other tasks are just like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and you can just do sometimes even 5 minutes, and you can just do the other things because the big thing is gone. You've already eaten the frog. You've already completed the most unpleasant thing to do. You've already crossed the hardest hurdle first thing in the morning. You already feel so light because the most difficult task, it's gone. And it's not even half the day. You've just finished it first thing in the morning. And you have the rest of the day to tackle all the little tasks. You can take your breaks, you can have your chat with your friends, and intermittently finish all the remaining items on your to-do list. That's the other way of approaching it. One is the 2-minute rule, and the other is the eat the frog. Choose whatever you want. Both of these work. Like today, I tried the eat the frog method. I'll get into that. Whoa, it's been 16 minutes? Fuck. All of these days, what I used to do is wake up and physical exercise, some kind of yoga, 30 minutes, meditation, breakfast, shower. All of this used to take me 2 hours. And I remember I used to be very conscious that the first 2 hours of my morning have not been productive. And the intensity or the weight of the task that lies ahead used to keep increasing in my mind. Because I'd be like making breakfast and I'd be like, I still have to do the edit. The edit is coming up. The edit is coming up. What am I going to do? And by the time I'm done with all of this, let's say it's 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock. Sometimes it's 12 o'clock by the time I'm done with my morning routine, right? At 12, I'm like, like almost half the day is gone and I've done nothing. I've accomplished nothing. The edit, the big, massive edit has not even begun. And I felt very, very unproductive. So what I did today was I woke up, no breakfast, nothing. Straight came to the computer, sat for 2 whole hours, finished what I had to finish in the edit. There's one part of the edit that was going on. In 2 hours, finished, exported, done. And then I'm like, wow. And now I can peacefully have breakfast. Breakfast happened at probably 12:30, but was totally worth it. It was like a weight was lifted off my shoulders. It was like, wow, like I've already been productive. I've started the day by eating the frog, making the hardest part of the day, hardest part of my task list complete. And now now that I've eaten the frog, I can eat my breakfast in peace and feel productive and feel like I've done something for the day. And to me, that was a new feeling. That was like, whoa, maybe I can do this again because I don't want to skip breakfast, but I can delay breakfast and you can have some protein bar or something, just a quick snack in the morning and then get straight to work and then figure out the rest of the day. And the second task for my day was record a podcast. And now I've gone on blabbering for like 20 minutes and a painting is done. Whoa. It's not even, what's the time? It's like 2 o'clock in the evening, in the afternoon. And we've done so much for the day today. Generally by 2 o'clock, I would be just doing or done with one task. Today we've done almost 3 tasks. So the 2-minute rule, if you want to start a big task, just do the first 2 minutes of it and you might end up you will probably end up finishing the whole task. Eat the frog. Do the most difficult thing first thing in the morning or night, whatever. Eat the frog. And then you can eat your breakfast. Everything else happens in peace. The big task is done. The small tasks will take place whenever you can. And remember the momentum. Remember the momentum concept. If you postpone one task, you will end up postponing more and more tasks. It's a snowball effect. If you do one task, you will end up doing one more task because you've already built a momentum, and you can use that momentum to your advantage and keep checking off 2 or 3 more things before taking a break. 21 minutes is probably the longest episode. I think the painting is going to sit here for a while. Probably walk in, walk out of the room, take a look at it, and then slowly something else will come. I also have a very incomplete painting. Well, this is incomplete. It has just a few lines, but I also have one more canvas that is completely, I've destroyed the canvas, and I need to repaint it and bring it back to life. So, all right, new experiment. Let me know how it goes.